In this video, I'm going to show you how to recreate the Emerica logo. It's really just taking these shapes we see here on the right, combining and editing them into the shape here, and then adding some customized text at the bottom. So really, if you're following along, jump into Adobe Illustrator, recreate the shapes you see here on the right. And once you have those ready to go, it's really just about kind of turning some things on some angles. You can see how this square is very quickly going to become this kind of pyramid shape for the top of the E. We're going to take these long rectangles, we're going to turn those at a slight angle to kind of match these bars of the E here. I'm going to kind of lay those out, kind of overshooting where some of these intersect because we're going to cut them off. I'll show you more of that in a minute. But something like this, right? And then we're going to take these, and these are all going to be rotated at the opposite angle. These are going to create these other sides of the E over here. So kind of bringing these in, and we can use the shape builder tool in a moment to kind of come in here with this part of the E, and then we're going to use this to kind of edge away into the top. And then these are going to go along the top here. So a lot of simple shapes. I'm going to jump to one that's already lined up just perfectly. So if you are following along, I would again start with those basic shapes that we just had. A big square, some elongated rectangles, some short rectangles here, and get them lined up pretty close to this. And then we're ready to kind of create this shape. So I'm going to click, drag, and select all of these shapes. I'm going to go get my shape builder tool, which is an icon that has two overlapping circles and a cursor symbol. And then as I come back here, you notice that we can edit and reshape this. I'm going to zoom in so we can see just a little bit better here. We're just going to follow along. I'll move this over just a little bit so we can see what we're doing here. But we're really just going to kind of cut and recombine this into this shape here. So I'm going to again click, select all of that, get my shape builder tool. And first thing I'll do is just knock off all these shapes on the edge that we don't need. So if I want to edit something out, I just hold Option on the keyboard and then click and drag through it with my cursor. Now they're gone. We don't need this up here. I'm going to hold Option on the keyboard, click and drag through that. And then we want to also edit out the negative shape in here that creates this slanted E. So I'm going to hold Option. I'm going to click and drag through these shapes. I'm going to end right there. I'm going to hold Option, click and drag through these shapes till I get there. Do the same thing here. We also don't need the bottom of this pyramid, so we'll just knock it out by holding Option, dragging through that. And then these end right here, we'll just get rid of these parts of the E as well. And then what we're left with is a series of shapes, but they're all going to combine to go into that. So now I don't want to edit anything out. I just want to combine. So I'm not going to be holding Option on the keyboard. I'm just going to hold down on the mouse, click and drag over the shapes that I want to combine, even noticing some of these small little shapes inside where some of these shapes meet. And now I have this part of the logo, right? So I'm going to click and select this using my eyedropper tool to create that as white. I'm going to copy a background over here. My logo is behind it, so I'm going to select that, go to Arrange, bring to Front. I'm going to zoom out, and what we have left to finish is the text, right? So I already have some text over here that we're going to use to customize. So if you are in Adobe Illustrator, this is a font that's included with Adobe Illustrator. It's called Helvetica Neue, but it does have some customizations that Emerica has made to theirs. So again, just typing in Helvetica Neue into your type palette, just the regular weight. I'm going to bring it over here. I'll zoom in here. Let's line this up. I'm going to use my alignment tools to center that. We'll center this in a minute. So first of all, let's get our eyedropper tool, turn it white. But the big difference you'll notice is they're quite similar, but the big difference you'll notice is that these have circles for the dot of the I and the period right here. If you type out the text for Helvetica Neue, the I is actually more of a square shape for the dot, and the period is more of a square shape. So we're going to have to create some custom circles there. The other thing is that they have customized the E by lifting this middle crossbar up a little bit. So in order to customize this, we're going to have to change it from live text to outline text so we can customize it. So I'm going to click and select this type. I'm going to go up to type, right? So type, create outlines. There we go. Now it's no longer an editable text. You know, it's just a series of points. I can even edit and stretch it, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to click and say ungroup, and then some of these, the dot we can get rid of. And in order to get rid of this, I'm going to ungroup the letter I, or release compound path. Get rid of that. I'm going to zoom in. Then I'm going to go get my ellipse tool, and I'm just going to build some circles here, holding shift so they're perfectly round. Put those into place. I'm going to compare that with my original. I've got the size pretty well. Maybe this needs to go down a few keystrokes on the keyboard. And then the last thing we need to do is elevate this crossbar of the E. So to do that, I'm going to get my direct selection tool. I'm going to come in and select just these anchor points by selecting one, holding shift, selecting another, holding shift, selecting just these ones in the middle. And then on the keyboard, I'm just going to hit up a few strokes. And then just checking once more for alignment. This looks like it's over to the text is look over to the left just a little bit. And there we have it, the Emerica logo from start to finish.